Try turning it the other way. One more turn.
One more turn.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. This is it.
Oh.
How was church, my friend?
It was great, thanks. Give me a minute. I am just gonna go to the bathroom, find my lighter. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You live in the country or the city or?
In the city, in the biggest city in Romania. Bucharest.
Bucharest. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Bucharest.
I've heard of this city.
Bucharest. So you are going to smoke a big pipe. I don't know
I thought
if
I
you know
would,
this
yeah.
about me, but I'm into very small pipes. Check this out.
Put it close to the camera so I can really see it.
It is.
It's like a little lumberman. Is that a lumberman?
No, the other one.
Canadian?
Not lumberman. Not Canadian. What the hell? Lovat.
Oh, Lovat.
The Lovat.
So are the Lovats small?
Yes. Parker made in 1936. Very, very small.
I didn't know that the Lovats are small. Because in the pictures you see, I have a thing I've printed out with all the different pipe styles. Actually, I gathered all of the pictures I could find of pipe styles on the internet and made one big document with them all on there. But it's hard to appreciate the size difference between the different. So now I know.
Exactly.
A Lovat is what, 4 inches long? 10 centimeters?
I don't know in inches.
10
No, much less. Much less. Wait a second. Câți centimetri are treaba asta?
There's 2.5 centimeters in an inch.
Maybe 4 inches and something.
4 inches? That is little.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Canada, we are half metric and half imperial. So
yeah,
my parents grew
the
up.
The French part and the British part, no?
I guess. And the French, I mean, my dad grew up doing it all inches and miles and stuff. Then when I was in grade 5, we switched to metric. And so I had the first part of my life as a kid learning in school, everything in inches and feet. And then the second half, it was all metric. And metric is better. But some things I think of some things in imperial. Like kilometers, I think of in kilometers, and I think in degrees in Celsius. But when it comes to small distances, I like inches and feet better. It's hard for me to think 10 centimeters. Well, why? It's okay, you know. You got a foot, an inch. I don't know.
The Napoleon, the emperor, is because of him we use metric system now in almost all the world. The Napoleonic codes.
Was it Napoleon that kind of pushed that?
Yeah. What is a liter, a meter, so that on the entire empire, this will be used and not abused. So everywhere, this is a meter. Everywhere in this empire, this is a Napoleonic codes. It's called,
Wow. Well, the pipe I'm smoking today, I probably got it at a secondhand store where I get most of my pipes. I don't see any markings on it. So, oh, yeah, there is. Bergen, Canada. Or Brigham or something like that. Can you see that?
I've heard of Brigham. Canada. Put it a little bit, count it down a little. Yeah, nice pipe. Almost all my pipes are secondhand. I refurbished them myself.
I haven't refurbished this one. You can see the.
This is nice.
The
all it needs is a little bit OxyClean.
Yeah.
20 minutes in OxyClean.
I don't mind.
That's all I do.
For me, it's a tool to enjoy tobacco.
Yes. I don't mind it either.
Yeah.
What's the point of having an old pipe if you make it look brand new? I don't get it.
Right. Like I wouldn't want to make it brand new. If I was going to refurbish it, I would get it shiny again a bit, like just polish up here. But where the markings are around the top of the bowl, like somebody's hammered it out and stuff, I would just remove some of them, like just to make it a little more, just a little bit better, just a little fresher.
Yeah.
What does this have for?
Oh,
it's got.
All I do. Yes.
Aluminum.
Mine has the same thing. Inner tubing, it's called.
Okay.
Check this out. We have the same thing.
Yeah.
with inner tubing. It is made to condensate the moisture and not to come into your mouth, but down in the reservoir of the pipe.
Right.
Yeah.
So for tobacco, I think I will have my whiskey. So I get these things at secondhand stores, and I print out a piece of paper.
Even we have the same jars. Check this out. The same type.
Yeah. And they're all the same brand because it's just easier for me. And like we talked about yesterday, I'm not a pipe snob. I don't really care what your blend is. Smoke what you like, enjoy it. Pipe is a tool just to consume tobacco, and there's a bit of fun in having a few different pipes, but I'm not into this pipe elitism or snobbery. I feel a little intimidated when I watch the YouTube pipe community because these guys, they've got cellars full of all this different tobacco, and they're trying new blends all the time and doing these reviews, and they're picking out notes like, okay, there's a little bit of sour cream in there, some coffee.
They are lying. They are looking at the tobacco reviews, or how is it called? On Google. You Google tobacco reviews. I don't know how it is called, and you read there everything you say later. So my cellar is a pitiful one. I have 2 unopened tins and 4 little jars with little tobacco. So, but those guys that have 400 pipes and 2,000 tobaccos, they suffer of that illness. How is it called?
Yeah.
Acquisition syndrome or something.
Yeah.
That is not a passion anymore. It's an illness. How could you ever know a pipe and love it, or a tobacco? How would you ever know and understand the tobacco if you smoke 4,000 tobaccos and 200 pipes a year, different ones? You will never understand your pipe. You will never love your pipe. It will not produce cake inside. So, yes, I'm not a pipe snob. The problem is that I cannot be in this country, but I choose not to be anyway.
Yeah.
So, do you like Jordan Peterson, eh?
Yeah, how did you know?
I don't know. I was just asking.
Oh, because he's
I like
Canadian.
him a lot. Yeah.
I really do. Like, I listen to a lot of Jordan. Every time he's got a new broadcast come out, I listen to it, and he just seems to be like a bit of a breath of fresh air to reasonable conversation in a culture. I don't know what it's like in Romania, but here we're sort of a post-Christian culture, especially, I guess, in the cities. Not so much in the country, but in the cities, and maybe more in North America, maybe more in Canada than the United States even, where people are saying it's like the emperor is not wearing any clothes and no one will tell him. I don't understand it. Like, it's a weird world.
Postmodernism.
Do you like him?
Yeah. Yes, a lot. That's why I was asking. And the arm wrestler, I don't know if you know him, Devon Lara. He's doing arm wrestling.
Okay, no. I don't really follow
Devon Lara.
Okay.
This one and Formula One are the only sports I follow.
Right. Yeah. What are some other hobbies you like to do?
Playing guitar.
Right. Are you in a band?
No, not anymore. I used to be when I was younger, but not anymore. So, have we started?
Yeah. I'm thinking that what we've been talking about already has been interesting. I'll cut out some of the stuff that might be offensive to Americans.
You might have to cut everything.
For example, I probably
not
cut that.
Exactly.
So, you're married. No kids.
Yes. No kids.
And what is the political climate like in Romania? Like, with all the stuff going on between Russia and Ukraine?
Since we have entered the European Union, everything went down for us. The big countries in the UE are using us, are dividing us, divita et imperam. So this is how they are using us, just as a market. How should I call it? For them to sell their products. They destroyed our industries.
You're kidding.
So that, yes, they sold our good factories for scrap first, and then they came with their products.
So what's the point of the European Union then?
We don't know.
You're kind of with Britain in doing the Brexit, like you guys, some of you would probably prefer not to be part of it.
Yes, some of us are starting to have had enough of this. It's not good at all. We are not with them in using euro. We are still with our own money.
Okay.
They didn't accept us in that club. We cannot work in their countries. There is a system, Schengen it is called. We are not in Schengen. So we can work freely in some of these countries.
I thought that was part of the point with the European Union, is that you could travel freely and work freely in other countries, and it's not true?
Yes, and we are in it for 17 years or something.
Wow.
Yeah. The Americans are influencing our political climate. So we do everything they say. We buy arms. We have to spend 2.5% of our PIB on the army and buying their used stuff, their used airplanes. Other countries divided our country in little parts, and France do something. Italians took our land and they make agriculture. France with their cars here, Germany and Austria are after our forests, the wood. It's pretty bad, pretty bad. Wow. A good monthly salary here is about $600.
Wow.
That's why $32 for a tin of tobacco is a lot.
Wow. So anybody listening to this right now, send this man some tobacco.
Oh no, please, please, please. I don't have this on my agenda.
No, I know.
I have a friend who told me, tell YTPC that you need tobacco, they will send it. I'm sure they won't, but I'm not gonna do that.
It's amazing how generous people are. I don't know if you saw my video that I posted last night. It takes forever for things to upload here, so I videoed it in the afternoon.
With your wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I videoed it in the afternoon and then uploaded it, and it was done at like 11 p.m. or something. But what was I going to say about that? Now I've lost my train of thought. What were we talking about again? Oh, generosity. I was talking about how community and belonging to a tribe, kind of having some things in common with people, is what attracts people to the YTPC. And one of the things I found right away when I joined, someone sent me a package of model train things, because I have a model train set in the basement, and right away I got this gift of stuff, and then a week later the same guy sent me some more. It was just amazing. It's such generosity.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
actually a few days ago a Romanian guy who watched my videos offered me a tin of tobacco, so I'm thanking him again. Yeah, wow. A tin of tobacco. He wanted me to do a review, which I don't really do.
Yeah.
So I did it for him.
Have you ever thought about growing tobacco there? Is it illegal or anything?
We used to grow tobacco when I was little in the countryside. Yeah. And our grandparents, everybody used to grow tobacco. And we used to put it on long ropes as children. Right. And hang it on the fences.
You're kidding.
All the fences had ropes and ropes and ropes of tobacco. It was amazing.
Really?
So yes, but I'm not thinking of doing that. But tobacco without added sugar and water is horrible. So you have to case it well to be good for smoking.
I see. There's a fellow, I
Mhm.
haven't seen his channel come up in my recommended videos for quite a long time, and I don't remember his name or anything, but on
The
his
German guy?
I got the impression he sounds British, but I think he's living in France by the look of it. He lives in this really neat old
Oh.
stone cottage, and he grows it, and he shows how he cuts it and how he does all the stuff with it. And
I know what you're talking about.
he has
Yes,
this
yes.
neat camera that's like 3D. Like all of a sudden it comes right down on his face. And do you know who I'm talking about?
Doesn't he have an RV, a car,
I
an
haven't seen
RV, and
that.
he goes to, yeah,
I haven't
whatever.
seen that.
Yeah.
What I've seen, he just is in his
He
back.
does tobacco ropes,
Huh?
isn't he?
It might be. I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 of his videos, and this was back.
Yeah.
See, I left the YTPC for a little while, not because I didn't like it anymore or anything, just because I have another channel where I put most of my attention. It makes me money, and I've just focused on that all the time. And so lately I've had some extra time. I thought I'm going to get back on the YTPC and meet these guys again. And
What is it about the other channel?
the other channel is it's Christian. I don't know what your faith is, but I take scripture from the Bible and put it to music. So I've done all of the Psalms, the book of Psalms. There's like 150 Psalms in the Bible. I put them all to music. And I'm in the process right now of releasing one track every 2 weeks from the book of Ephesians. That's Paul's letter to the church in Ephesus. And I'm about to go into...
I've been to Ephesus.
Have you? I'm about to go into the studio with my next album, which is the book of Philippians. Actually, I'm meeting with the engineer on Monday. This will be my first time not recording everything myself if I hire him. He's going to charge me $5,000 to do the whole album. It's about 20 songs.
Oh my God.
I know, it's a lot.
But professionally.
But
You're going to make a professional album.
Yeah, and my music it's nearly professional. Like, I think it sounds good, but I told him I really want to appeal. Most of my audience is between the ages of 40 and 60. It's about 65% women. So men would be the 45% or 35, whatever. My math is terrible. And so I would like to just attract men more and younger ages more. And so I told that to this engineer guy, this studio owner, and he said he could help me with that. So I'm going to go meet with him on Monday and see how that goes.
Good luck, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun to have, like, I have patrons through Patreon. I don't know if you've heard of Patreon. So they support.
I've heard.
Yeah, they give me a couple bucks a month, each of them, and so that brings in a nice amount of money. And then I have the profits from the ads on YouTube, and then what I sell on iTunes and Spotify and so on I make. And then I have a bit of merchandise that I make money from. So you just have to diversify. I also teach music, so I make money from teaching music. Yeah.
This is one of the problems with me, that I don't have tobacco, is because I don't have a bank account. I cannot make purchases from outside Romania. I had a legal problem with selling a car. I've said this again in Parsimonious Piper's interview.
Right.
And that guy didn't pay something that he should, and I have a small legal problem, and I don't have a bank account. So this is the base of my problem, the real problem. Yeah.
So can you open up a bank account in another country?
I don't know, and I wouldn't even try.
Yeah. As if you could have, a U.S. bank account or something, then that might help you.
I'm not that savvy with technology, with these kind of things.
I lived in New Jersey for 5 years. I was a music director at church there, down in the States. And I opened a bank account because we lived there. But when I left, this was back in the 90s, and when I left, I just left the bank account there. And so I still use that American account, and I have my Canadian account. So it's nice to have. I think it's smart probably to have some money in different countries if you can afford it, so that if your dollar gets weak, you still got the other dollar.
Yeah.
What is your...
I used to... how is it called?
Yeah, what is it called?
Leu. Lion.
Oh.
One lion. One leu.
How do you spell it?
Called Leu. L-E-U.
Leu.
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 No.
Oh,
Yes. I
sorry
made
for...
a video 2 days ago and I was speaking in Romanian. Bună seara, prieteni, numele meu este Silviu. Hello friends, my name is Silviu. For everybody who was interested in Romanian culture, because there is a Romanian
I
culture.
haven't seen that video yet. I'll have to check it out.
This is a problem that I've noticed since I'm making videos. It's like those guys who make hamburgers that don't want to see another one in their life.
Yeah.
But before you work there, you want to eat them.
Yeah.
This is when, since I'm making videos, I'm watching much less videos.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's true, and I find it really hard because generally, in order for people to notice you as a video maker, you have to watch videos and comment. If you want to have your videos noticed by other viewers of their channel, or for them to follow you, subscribe to you. And so I try to watch the video and let people know that I watched the whole thing by commenting and responding to various things. But you just can't do that for every video people put out, especially when they're putting out one a day. So it's just not possible. And get any sleep and love your wife and be a good dad and make some money and all the other things that have to happen. I wonder how some of these guys do it, because they're just making videos all the time.
Yeah. By the way, I loved your pipe mafia that you got there. With your sons and their girlfriends.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah. Yes, it is. I've told you I've never smoked a pipe. I've never shared a pipe with a pipe smoker in my life, and I'm smoking a pipe for 23 years. This is the second time that I'm doing it online with somebody after Parsimonious, Mr. Ethan.
Well, I'm honored to be that person. Thank you.
Thank you. You almost was the first one. If you remembered.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, I had no idea that you are 53 years old, because I would have called you Mr. Jason. In Romania, in our culture, this is a big no-no. We never call an older gentleman than us, 5 years maybe, or a lady, never call them by their name. Never.
Wow, that's interesting.
Although you don't say Mr. in the little name, I don't know how you say Mr. in the family name,
right?
But I don't know everyone is of your family name.
Yeah.
So I was calling Ethan Mr. Ethan.
Yeah.
Silver. Now I know.
Sorry for massacring your name yesterday. When I was talking about interviewing you, I was like, my memory is like the worst. So I was like, Sylvia. I couldn't remember how to say it, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You actually said it pretty good from the first time.
Good.
Yeah. So actually, I've started with the French pipe, a Beldor, for anyone who's interested.
That's a pretty little pipe.
Yes, it's a apple, of course, a small pipe.
Tell me what's the difference between a billiard and an apple? Is it just a bit more rounded?
Yes, this is an apple.
And the chin of the pipe is a little steeper on a billiard, right? Oh, it's also thicker, right? Yeah, I see it. I'm making a pipe. I made this pipe yesterday.
Yeah, I saw your last pipe that you made. I saw you smoking it.
This one I'm still working on.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just taper the stem right here. I have this little file, and I'm just working along here bit by bit, trying to get it. I don't want to take it to a big file right now, because it might take off too much material. So I just do bit by bit. I don't know if
that is important. The transition. So learn that, how to transition to be smooth and
right here. Like I want that to be just so smooth. Yeah.
Exactly.
And once that's done, then I'll sand it and polish it. I really like making pipes. I think I need to go buy some briar so I can make pipes that other people want. I've made about $900 in selling pipes so far.
Oh,
but that's
a fortune here.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's over a few years, and you know, I think more people would be interested in my pipes if I made them out of briar, because some people are afraid to smoke out of other hardwoods. I don't really know why.
I know.
You're inhaling tobacco, like it's not good for you. So don't worry about a pipe. But anyway, there are some pipes that people are allergic to. The wood, some woods. I mean,
people don't understand that this is a filthy habit.
Yeah.
so many people are talking about it as if it's the holy water or something. They really don't understand that you're not inhaling, but the capillary veins under your tongue and in your mouth are absorbing all the poison that goes into your blood. You can make mouth cancer, larynx cancer.
Yeah.
So
Tongue.
there is still a problem with the pipe. It's not that saint. They bash cigarettes, but they said the pipe is holy. There's nothing bad. It's not true.
Yeah.
It is not true.
Do you smoke cigars?
Yes, from time to time. I have a little connection because my last job was at Davidoff.
It was what?
Davidoff of Romania.
I don't know what that is.
Davidoff?
No.
Oh my God. It's a great brand of cigars, Davidoff.
I'm not a cigar smoker. I don't know anything about cigars.
They sell cigarettes also, many expensive things. I don't have some around. Yeah, Davidoff cigars.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Is that where you got into pipe
Most
smoking?
of my... Yes, because of cigars and cigarette holders. I was passionate about...
Oh, I heard you tell...
those little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
parsimony.
went to buy one cigar and I saw the pipes and that was it.
Cool.
But I was smoking hookah before that.
That's the water pipe, right? With the hose?
Yeah.
I've smoked that once. What I was surprised about is you don't really notice the smoke going in because it's so cool. It's like body temperature.
Exactly.
And I filled my lungs right up with it and didn't even know. There was no burn at all.
Ingenious.
Yeah.
The hookah, it's ingenious.
I
Yeah,
have... in Canada now, cannabis is legal, pot. I don't know if it is in Romania. So everybody's starting to smoke pot here and stuff. My friend came over with a joint and said, "Here, try this out." So I've tried it with him a couple times. I don't really like it. To get a buzz from it, you're supposed to inhale it into your lungs, and it hurts my lungs. I'm like, it's not for me. I don't like the smell that much either, really.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
I don't like it either.
It's
my so happy.
Yeah.
It makes you laugh like crazy.
Well, my oldest son says I don't get a buzz from it because I'm always kind of laid back and happy. So I don't notice a difference. I don't know if that's true. It's nice to hear your son say that about their dad, right? So.
Yeah.
So you think you and your wife will have kids someday? Is there any plan?
I've had some health issues.
I'm sorry.
In the last 4 years. Yeah, thank you. In the last 4 years, but we really want to have some soon because I'm 43. She's 35. She wants. This is the time. She always says that.
Yeah.
This is our chance. We should not wait.
Would she like to have children?
Yes.
Yeah.
We love animals like crazy.
Well, children are basically little animals. So you're good.
And little animals are just like children.
Yeah. I know a few people that aren't able to have kids, and so they do kind of treat their dogs as if they're children. Or their
This is what we did.
Yeah.
I've had 2 cats and 1 dog.
What do you like better?
Cats. But I love the dog more than both my cats put together. But I still love cats more.
What is it about cats you like?
I don't know. They're much cuter. They're more respectful. They're not that pushy. A dog comes, I want now this. Give me this. Play with me now. The cat comes, it touches you. You want to play? No? Okay, I go over there. I'm waiting.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't have to take it out. We live in apartment buildings. You have to take it out all the time.
Yeah.
If he has some health issues, you have to go outside 10 times a day, like we did. Cats are less maintenance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Is Romania? I mean, in Romania, is English one of the main languages? Because your English is so good.
Oh my God! Thank you. Let me tell you, I have no idea how did I learn it. I haven't been speaking English for 15 years. I didn't do it. And even then, I only did it for a week with
You're kidding.
with somebody from America. Yes, I didn't made it learn it at school or something. I have no idea. I have a pretty good musical ear. Probably that's why.
I can't get over it. Like just that you could sit there and think maintenance and know that word and have access to that word. Is Romanian a Latin language or German?
Yes,
Oh, it is. So there are
Latin.
similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Rome is called in Italian and Latin Roma.
Oh, yeah.
This is how you say Roma. So Romania.
So I've heard that. Now, what is the gypsy connection between gypsies and Romanians? Because they call themselves the Roma people.
Yes, they call themselves Roma people in all Europe.
Oh, yeah. And I
It
also
is
heard. I
decided
watched a
that
really interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, please. There is a problem with the connection.
Yeah. Well, we are thousands of miles apart.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I still
amazing.
find it amazing.
I'm not
Really
going to
amazing.
complain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched a really interesting documentary. I'll put it in the description for those who are interested. It's on YouTube, and it's about the Gypsy people. And in this particular documentary, they claimed that these people were saying it came from Egypt, that they were, I think, Romanian people, like Roma people who went down to Egypt and then they left Egypt and came back to Europe, and so they were called Gypsies based on that, or something like that. But it was such an interesting documentary. Beautiful people, musical people. Ah, just
Yes, yes, they are musical people. Yes, but they actually come from India.
maybe it was that India.
They even look
Yeah,
exactly like
but the
Indians.
blue eyes. They often have
Exactly.
blue eyes.
Yes, they are called Gabor gypsies, the one with the red hair and blue eyes.
Ah,
Gabor gypsies. Yeah, we have probably we are 20 million people, and they are probably 1.5 million here.
wow. So there are a lot.
Yeah, the most of them are in Hungary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend when I was at another church in another city. She went to Hungary and was with these Hungarian gypsies for quite some time. She came back very influenced by them. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Have
Now
you?
we are very separate, segregated here.
Oh, are
We
you?
don't really like them, although their culture and their music are all over our TV programs. It's crazy. They are all over TV with their
Oh,
lifestyle. But normal Romanians are not accepting them
why
as
is that?
friends, or I don't know. As many I don't know. The Germans call all of us gypsies
Oh,
because a few of them are stealing in their countries.
okay.
This is what we think about them. They go to jail often.
Yeah.
They're still, but of course, it's not true for all of them.
No.
Of course, it's a stupid thing to think that.
Yeah. There
So,
is
but
a stereotype or something that I have heard of. Being all the
uh
way over in Canada, we don't really have any gypsy people that I know of. But there's a stereotype I've heard of that they are thieving people. Is that true? Like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
because they never own land, so they always were the slaves of other people. Never own land, never own a home. They always stood together. They always on the roads, and the gold and things were more important and more valuable than money, because today they are in Hungary, tomorrow they are in Germany, in a few days they're in Romania. So money is not that important. So they collect and accumulate gold and objects, and
Hmm.
that's why they're historically stealing things, you know.
Have you seen the TV series called Peaky Blinders?
No,
Have you
I
heard of it?
haven't. No.
It's a little violent, but they're Irish gypsies, and they are in Birmingham in the UK in England.
Yeah.
It's set in the 1920s, and this guy who's sort of the ringleader of the group, is kind of a mafia boss among these people. It's a really
like in
interesting
Snatch,
series.
like
Pardon?
the movie Snatch, like the movie Snatch
I don't know if I've
with
seen
Brad
that.
Pitt.
Maybe. Sounds
Guy
familiar.
Ritchie is the director. Guy Ritchie.
I don't know if I've
Snatch.
seen it. What's it about?
Okay, sorry, you were saying
No, that's okay. Tell me about the movie.
it is about like a gypsy mafia
Oh,
getting into trouble with the British mafia.
sounds familiar.
I can explain.
What era is it set?
Yeah.
Is it also set in the 20s?
No, in the 90s.
Okay.
In the 90s.
I
And
just
Brad
love
Pitt is a
1990s.
fighter full of tattoos, and with only one punch, he destroys every. This is what the movie is about. But I love the 20s.
Yeah, me too. It's my favorite era.
Crazy. Maybe mine too.
Yeah.
Maybe mine too.
I love the cars from the 20s with the big, lovely fenders and the grills. All the just beautiful architecture. The what's it called?
Art Nouveau, Art Deco.
Thank you, Art Nouveau. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Like the reason I have these glasses is because I love that era. I love things that are not just practical but also beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The buildings were not only made for practical reasons.
No.
That's why they are beautiful. Yeah. The clothes.
We have lost that. Like the Western,
Yeah.
we have just abandoned the arts in the West. They're no longer important. Yes. Everything is about what makes money. The pop music, it's how long can you keep a listener? And will they, it has nothing to do with, in my opinion, with experimenting with pushing the boundaries of art or commentary, social commentary, like just the things that art does. It seems now it's frowned upon. Now free speech is no longer even really considered acceptable in the West.
This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Yeah.
I'm sure you've
noticed. We can't believe it here that the free speech in your countries. From where did we actually got it?
Yes.
Now it's almost banned.
Yeah.
In your country.
Yeah.
You have that Prime Minister Trudeau. No?
I voted for him in the first election because I thought he's young. It's so nice to have someone young.
Yeah.
And, someone fresh who comes in with new ideas. Before that, we had a very conservative Stephen Harper who kind of didn't talk to the press, and he didn't really care about political opinions. But now that Trudeau's in, I miss Harper. I miss that just done right, and not all this mambo jumbo about political correctness and so on. Who cares? Just do what's right. But it comes from a good place. I think part of the issue with political correctness is we can be offensive to one another, not loving to one another, not considerate of other people's feelings, and there is a place for that. It's not one or the other. How can you be kind and loving to a person but not agree with them? Listen to what they have to say. Like Jordan Peterson says, be able to enunciate their argument back to them better than they could. You understand where they're coming from. If you put yourself at that risk, then you also take the risk of changing your own mind, which can be scary. What if I don't really have that good of an argument? I just feel emotionally strong about this point of view. And if we're going to be true people and honest people, we have to accept that we don't know everything. There is something we can learn from others. So that's I think where political correctness, it starts out with a good intent. Just be kind, but not at the expense of truth.
Yes, truth sometimes is not kind and nice.
Yeah. This has been a really good conversation. How long have we gone now?
I have no idea.
48 minutes. It flew by.
We should make a time limit for our listeners. So
make a what?
Won't make this a time limit for the video.
An intermission?
The one that not to make it too long for them, but we can continue after. Do you care for that, or you don't?
I think maybe we shouldn't go longer than an hour for them. But we've talked about some things that I will edit out, and I'll try to keep the video to an hour.
Okay.
If nobody wants to watch it for an hour, I don't care. But
me neither. Me
when I
neither.
watch videos online and there's interviews, I often feel a little annoyed when there's too much editing out. I like to hear the real people talk and hear their conversation sort of go through different stages.
Yeah,
It's kind of like you're connecting to real people. It's not
yeah,
edited for TV. It's not edited for
exactly.
consumption. It's real. So
This is what Kill TV editing and short
yeah,
discussions.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
I think
So
what hurts truth too, because you can't put everything in a soundbite. You
exactly,
can't
exactly.
condense truth down into a nugget. Not possible. It's complex. It's subtle,
It,
multidimensional.
and it doesn't come out instantly when you want it. Maybe
Right.
it will come out later.
Yeah.
So for our pipe friends, I'm changing the pipe of 1936 Parker, British pipe from Dunhill era. It's made by Dunhill with inner tubing. Friends, YTPC friends.
That's beautiful.
I've told you I have some rare pipes. Maybe your audience wants to see them later.
Yeah, sure.
Look at that.
I'm going to switch pipes too. This is a bent Dublin, I believe.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
the only pipe that I've spent a lot of money on. This was my first expensive pipe buy. It was $80. Now, I realize that's not expensive, but it was to me. I couldn't believe I was wasting that much money on a pipe. But I love this pipe. It was in a box of pipes in a little old lady's smoke shop, and I said, "Do you have anything that's like less than $200?" And she bought it this little box, and she said, "These are all miscellaneous pipes." And so I went through it. There's maybe 20 pipes in there, and I picked out this one, and she said, "Oh, what's that doing in there?" But she sold it for that, so I'm quite happy with it. I don't see though. I don't think it has a name on it. So, oh no, in the bottom there's something right there. I've never even noticed that. It says France. It's the only thing it says right there is France.
like that Jantet that you have.
Yeah.
That one is from France. See?
French
What
pipe.
a small world. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Exactly what I'm talking about. Yes,
that
it is.
shape is just beautiful to me.
Yeah.
I love
that
this.
might be horn. That might be horn.
Here?
A piece of horn.
Yeah, I think it is. I've tried to get some farmers in the area to give me horn so that I could add that to my pipes, but so far I haven't got any. And I'm going to switch my tobacco. What did I have last time? Cherry? I can't remember. I think I'm going to go to whiskey this time.
Sadly for our pipes friends, I'm smoking the same tobaccos that I was smoking with Mr. Ethan. So now I'm smoking Rat Race Hollow the Wind.
Nice.
And before I was smoking Bob's Chocolate Flake.
I haven't tried that. Does it taste like chocolate?
Like dark chocolate, but just a little bit.
I don't think I would like a pipe tobacco that tasted like food.
Yeah, me neither. And I don't put food in my pipes like people used to put
honey,
honey, yogurt. People, please don't put food in your pipes. You don't need it.
I heard you saying that in another video you did somewhere.
Yeah.
It
is so elitist. I don't get it.
Well, I've heard that it's good for breaking in a pipe to get a good carbon cake on the inside, but I've never done it.
You know what? If you ever heard of Mastro de Paya, he makes great pipes for 50 years. He said that is the stupidest thing he ever heard. Breaking in a pipe and that thing with coating. Briar is the strongest and more fireproof wood on the planet.
Yeah.
One of the strongest. You can smoke a corn cob for 100 years. Why do you think that briar needs protection of any kind?
Yeah.
It doesn't. That carbon will just smoke the pipe.
Yeah.
It will make carbon. In a few days, you will see. I hate this elitism. You have to do this, that. No, you have to have tobacco in a pipe, and that's it.
I'm with you there.
Friends. Yeah. We keep putting new guys on the run. When we show them that we have 3,000 pipes, we are covered in pipes and tobacco and all 5,000 tampers. The new guy looks at it and says, I will never gonna have that. So I cannot be a pipe smoker.
Yeah.
Which it isn't true. This is all you need. You don't even need a tamper. Find a piece of wood on your finger.
Yep. I agree.
Just try a pipe. Try a pipe, guys. Look how small it is.
It's so cute.
Yeah. It's a Dunhill second. Dunhill had Alfred Dunhill made 3 pipe companies for our pipe friends, of course. Dunhill, Parker, and Hardcastles. He made Parker because he was throwing out a lot of pipes that didn't meet the crazy Dunhill standards. And he made Parker so he could sold those pipes too, but there is nothing wrong with them. Maybe a crazy little thing was not perfect. He used to throw them away. So he made Parker for that.
Crazy.
So try Parker, guys.
What is your favorite thing about smoking a pipe?
I don't know, because this is another thing. I'm not only smoking when I'm relaxed or watching the sunset, as I said in one of my videos. In a rocking chair. I don't care for this, how should I call it? Idyllic. I smoke a pipe whenever I want, when I'm working, when I'm driving. So I don't know what is my favorite thing about smoking a pipe. I really don't. I have to think about it.
I think my favorite thing about it...
That is an old thing from an old world. It's a thing that comes from our past.
What is?
The pipe.
Oh.
This is what I like about.
Oh, this is your favorite thing, that it's from the past.
Yeah. Yes.
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 I like that too.
What is your favorite thing?
I think my favorite thing about a pipe is that it's not something you can, like so many things you can do kind of on the run. You can grab an apple, heading out the door, and eat your lunch quickly in the car. You can do a lot of things on the run. But pipe it's like it forces you to slow down for a minute and to kind of reconsider life.
That is true.
Meditate. I love to go out into the woods with my pipe. That's one of my favorite things to do with a pipe, is be in nature. Sit down on the ground next to a tree, maybe a brook trickling by, and enjoy the stream, enjoy the sun. I kind of feel like it helps me commune, to connect with God somehow. You know Johann Sebastian Bach?
Yeah.
You know his famous quote about pipe smoking?
No. Was he a pipe smoker?
Yes.
He's one of my favorite people of all time.
His quote, if it's true, and I'll try to get this right. At home, on sea, on land, abroad, I smoke my pipe and worship God.
It sounds like him.
I like the notion that in the enjoyment of something, when we really enjoy something, that's like worship of the Creator. If we can remember that the thing we enjoy is a gift to us, then we are glorifying God. And there's no greater purpose, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to proselytize you, but there's no greater purpose for a human being than to bring glory to God. Our very lives should be like vessels of love and peace and kindness and truth to those around us. And taking part in the sacrament of pipe smoking is like enjoying a little secret he gave us. Here's a tobacco plant for you to enjoy. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, in many cultures, the tobacco had a thing about God, even for the Indians.
Yeah.
No? Yeah. In many religion processions or thing, they use tobacco. So, yeah, there is something to it. And I believe in a creator, but not necessarily in the biblical God, but I'm very passionate about history of religion. I'm very passionate about it.
Tell me more about that.
For example, I hate scientism.
Right.
For example, I don't believe that nothing exploded 13 billion years ago, and from that nothing that exploded, everything was
Created.
birthed,
Yeah.
created. Yes,
Yeah.
created. So it's such a stupid idea. So I believe there is a creator. I believe there is a dome. I believe there is nothing else but what we see. There is nothing more. I believe that it's us and a dome with our stars and everything, and this is it. I don't believe in that space that these guys show on TV.
You don't?
NASA, no, I don't.
So you don't
How do you know if a star is small and very far away, big and very far away, or very small and very close?
That sounds a little bit like the Old Testament version of...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And that's what you believe, huh? Interesting. The firmament.
Yeah. The Genesis, the firmament, yes, exactly.
Interesting. What about...
So I've read the Bible,
spaceships?
The Quran.
What about our spaceships that go off into space?
It's a good idea.
Do you think
it's just a good idea.
So you don't think, like, what is that, Voyager that's gone off into space? You don't believe in it? Or?
No.
It's a trick.
Not a chance. It's a TV show.
Wow.
Yeah. Space.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because NASA, one of the greatest company that NASA worked with at their beginnings was Disney. You can find this in their files.
Yeah.
Why did they need Disney? How do you call this? When they make movies and
production.
Why? Why would NASA need Disney production?
Good question.
Yeah. You can, if you watch old NASA footage, you can see that it's animation. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I've heard this idea before, but I haven't really met people who really believe it. So it's interesting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask
maybe your audience will attack me, calling me a flat earther now.
Are you a flat earther?
Not really.
Yeah.
I think there are two parts of the scientism. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah. Well,
I believe in that Bible.
I usually think of scientism as taking science but making it into a religion. So the science itself replaces religion. It becomes the thing you put your faith and trust in. That's thus the ism on the end. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen Bishop Barron. He's got a YouTube channel. He's a Catholic bishop, and I watch his channel a fair bit. And he recently did a video on scientism. It was very interesting. Just explaining why it's not the right answer. He said not everything can be explained in science. There are some things that science isn't actually meant to explain. And he kind of elaborates that, gets into the details. It's quite interesting. For those who are interested, I'll put a link to Bishop Barron in the description too. I wanted to ask you another question. Something you said sparked it, and now I can't remember what it was.
Was we talking about religion? Elahi, Elahi, lama sabachthani.
You know that quote?
Of course.
What do you think about that quote?
I love Latin. I think a lot about that quote.
For those who don't know, that's what Jesus said when he was on the cross and dying. He said, my God, why have you forsaken me?
My God, why have you forsaken me?
People who were listening, who didn't know what he was saying, thought he was calling Elijah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, in our country, people thought that he was calling... whatever. He was calling his
Elijah.
Creator.
Okay.
But he was talking to God.
Yes.
Yeah. This shows that his human side, that even he had doubts. And he was actually human until he rise to the sky and become what he become. But it shows his human part, that we all have doubts, no matter if.
I find it interesting that you said you didn't really believe in the biblical God or Jesus, and yet you sort of also said that whatever he became when he called out to God, like, are you suggesting that he was himself God?
Not when he was here on earth.
So no, you don't think he was on earth?
He was on earth, maybe, but he became God. But on earth, he was just a human being like us. He was us in a way. I don't know how to explain it.
Christians say that Jesus was fully God and at the same time somehow fully man. So he didn't abandon his godhead when he was man, and he didn't abandon his manness when he died on the cross. So it was a complete sacrifice, that it was entire. Like, it wasn't like, okay, now I'm going to put away my manness while I die so that I don't feel pain or whatever. That it was a complete entering into the experience of human, and all the time still completely connected to what it was to be God. It's what makes Christianity so crazy and ridiculous, because what, you believe man was God? And yet I love that about it. That's, if you're going to believe something wacky, you might as well believe that Jesus was God and throw your heart into it.
But if he was God, why did he always appeal to his Father every time he did I don't know, cured the blind man? And if he was God, he would have done it without asking permission and help from God.
Yeah,
this is what I think.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because he himself said at one point he prays to God, but then he says in his prayer, "I say this not for you, God, but for the people who are listening to me as I pray, so that they know you sent me." And it's like this duality that's always happening, this fully integrated, like if God is really God and he's omnipresent everywhere, and that he somehow still is in the person of Jesus, he doesn't stop being omnipresent. So he's
you don't need to call him, he's always there.
He's in communion with himself. He's talking to himself, but he's also talking to the Father. And that's this weird thing of the Trinity that we can't really explain because our minds are linear. We think of, well, I was that, I'm now this, and I will be that. But what if, for God, it is all at once? Everything is a moment.
Yeah. What do you think about using their real name in Old Aramaic, like Jeshua or Judas, Yahuda?
On my other
Why
channel,
did we change that?
I don't like it. I don't like it. On my other channel, I have a lot of people who, because I put the Psalms to music, and so that's very Hebrew style of worship. A lot of people like my music who are those Messianic Christians who kind of identify more with the Old Testament, and they want us to use. They say to me, "Why don't you use Jesus' real name instead of this fake name?" But how I put it is, I have friends in other countries, and when I speak to them, their name is in my language different than it is in their language. They don't ask me to say their name in their language. I say it in the language it is. Like, for example, even country names are different from one country to another. In Japan, they call it their country Nihon. We call it Japan. Are we being inauthentic because we have our own name for their country? No. It's true with language. That's just language. It doesn't matter. When I talk to people who are Japanese, my last name pronounced to them is Shilaba, because they don't have the letters to say silver. Does that mean they're not using my real name? No, that's just their version of Shilaba. Their version of silver. So I think it's the same. God answers because we're calling out to him, and he doesn't care what name we use as long as we understand who he is, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Let's hope that this is true.
Yeah.
Let's hope that this is true.
Yeah.
But now, I would have liked.
I think it's important about the character. I think it's important, though, that we understand who we're talking to about the character of God. Because some religions will use a different name for God, but their God has a completely different personality than the Abrahamic God or than the God of Christianity and Judaism. I'm especially sort of referring to the God of Islam. And so I have a little bit of a difficulty with saying, well, all gods lead to the same place, or it's all the same God. Well, how could your God have a completely different personality that is not a loving God, not the God of reconciliation, but a God of division? You can't be both and. Those are opposites.
Do you know the name of God, of our God? What is his name?
Well, are you talking about
Eli.
like the Jewish name?
Eli. Elahi.
Yeah.
This is God's name. Elahi. That's why in the Quran it's called Allah. It sounds like Elah. Elah. Allah.
Yeah. Yahweh is what
it's the same God.
We often say here, Yahweh, or the old German mispronunciation would be Jehovah because of the pronunciation of the consonants differently.
See, but all this calling it different, it really creates problems between countries and congregations. People who are not very schooled, they don't understand that God is the same with Dumnezeu, how we call it.
What's that mean?
Dumnezeu. Dumnezeu means God.
Oh.
This is how we say God.
Right.
Dumnezeu.
Dumnezeu.
Dumnezeu. They say that you call it God, it is God. So that's why I would have liked it if we had used the real name, all of us.
Right.
The way his mother used to call him, Joshua, come to dinner.
Yeah.
And Judas, Yahuda was his name.
Right.
What do you think about Judas? Was he really a traitor? Because without him doing that,
if it wasn't for him being betrayed,
it never happened.
Then he wouldn't have sacrificed his life for us. Maybe there would have been another traitor, but the traitor was necessary, and it was foretold, prophesied. So I feel sadness for Judas. I think he made a choice. I don't believe that God is a God that takes away our choice. So he made the wrong choice. But I don't feel... it would be ridiculous for me to feel angry at him or at anyone else that participated in the crucifixion of our Lord, because without that, we would not be saved through his blood. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But in movies, and everybody knows that he was the traitor. But when I read my Bible in Romanian, he was not a traitor. He was actually when you have a really good friend and you tell him, you have to do this. You are the one who will betray me. We need to do this.
Right. Like what
I
you
think
must
he was
go and
somehow
do
special.
Right.
You don't put any idiot to do a great deed that will help.
That's
understand?
an interesting. That's
I don't see him as a traitor. Because of him, he went on the cross and to the sky.
Wow.
Because they cried, they kissed. It's not like in the movie when you actually read it in the Bible. In my Bible, in Romanian, because some things, as we know, get lost.
Yeah.
Translations but yeah, there are some interesting things. How about in Genesis the fact that when God made man, he said, we are making man. I don't know how to say it in English. In our
image,
to look like us, in our image.
In our image.
Is it we as our highness or what?
Well, the early writers of like the church fathers and those who wrote in the New Testament said that was a hint that even at that time there was a Trinity, this notion that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit were together, right?
This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
He always says, we make this, we made that.
I love it that there are those little hints hidden through the Old Testament, that if you read it with a different perspective, you're like, oh my goodness, this was all here all along. And the fact that that the Bible is written by so many different hands over a great period of time, and yet there's this consistency to it, that it all leads to a climax. It's very exciting. I have a hard time.
It is truly a special book. If you believe it or not, if you're a believer or not, there is something about it.
Yeah, I agree.
We are the people of the book, if we want it or not.
Yeah.
The book is special. That book is very special.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I believe in a creator because we are made so perfectly. I don't know how to express it, but we have anything we need to live on this earth. It's not like we are
also told my
searching.
kids, like when my kids have gone through their times of struggle with faith, especially as they're starting to really think for themselves, 20s and so on.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is the most provocative evidence for there being a God is that we appreciate beauty. Like, what is it about the world that appeals to us so much? What is it about beauty that appeals to us so much?
Music.
Why do we love music? Why do we love art?
Yeah.
It's like there is, and this whole notion of what is the word? I can't remember exactly what it is. The archetype. That everything is just a shadow of a perfection thing. You know, I'm looking at this table in front of me, but it's not a perfect table. But I have a vision in my head of what a perfect table would be. Where does that idea come from? Except maybe God. It's getting into the realm of philosophy, and I'm certainly no scholar in philosophy. But my son took philosophy in university. He ended up with an master's in English literature. He's the one that you saw in the video smoking with me. I don't know if you saw the video. No, because I tried to do a live stream of our men's group pipe smoking night, but the camera, it was too dark and everybody was talking at once. It was really hard to pick anything up, but my son came that night and brought a friend. It was really fun to have him there and participate in the conversation.
Yeah, about Bach, I think that is the only one, for me at least, that with his music I feel closer to our creator. He's like God's composer or something. His music is very godly-like.
Yeah.
Godlike. Yeah.
What is the main religion in Romania?
Orthodox Christianity.
Right.
We are all Orthodox Christians. No, the majority, 95%.
No Islam?
A few almost none. After 1990, a few.
And what about
their mosques?
No Catholics?
Very small, very small. In Transylvania are more Catholics.
Protestant?
And a few Greco-Roman.
Oh.
Protestant, very small.
I don't know what Greco-Roman is. What is that? Like a Greek Orthodox?
Yes, something like Greek Orthodox, but with a little difference.
Okay.
I don't know it either.
Yeah. Around here, hardly anyone would say they're Christian, probably. I think we are a post-Christian society. Most people don't go to church. Most people wouldn't. I think most people would say they do believe in God, but they kind of want to just make it up for themselves.
This is the same here.
Oh, is it?
They believe in God, but never open the book by themselves.
Yeah.
Never.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe ignorance. Probably ignorance.
I think it's easier.
They think it's enough what they heard from their priest or the TV.
Yeah.
They think that it's enough. They don't know that it's almost infinite, the wisdom and what you can learn from there. But sorry, I have interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I said I think it's easier too, because if you don't look into it too much, then there's no personal accountability. So
ignorance is a bliss.
Yeah, you can kind of act like, I'm safe. But what if you're not?
Yeah, I loved what Jordan Peterson said. When he's asked if he believes in God, he says, I don't know, but I always act like it exists.
Yeah, I love that.
This is kind of my case.
I think that really should be everybody's case, because none of us really know. If we say we know, we're just acting on faith, because no one has seen. So if we don't live as if there is a God, then we're not really living in faith. Like we're
Yes.
So yeah. I also live as if God exists, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I live like I'm my own God, and I make decisions that are in my own best interest and not in what God will want me to do. But that's my desire, is to always realign my life so that I'm living in such a way that God is my first thought. I try to be that way. I fail.
Nobody's perfect.
Right.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
I think this is what they try to show with Jesus on the cross, that nobody's perfect. Not even him was perfect. And yet, look what you can do even if you're not perfect. You can do a lot even if you're not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps by admitting you're not perfect, you can do more than those who are pretending that they can.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot to end. What do you think?
Perfect. Agreed.
I've really enjoyed this conversation. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope we can do this again.
Of course, Jason. Of course.
I want to make this a regular part of my channel. I think it's pretty interesting. I don't know whether other people will find it interesting, but I find it interesting. And so if there are some who enjoy it, that's great.
Let us know.
And if I can't find other people to do it, well, then I'll just do it with you again.
Perfect.
Cool. Have a nice day.
You too, Jason. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.